Welcome into hour two. All right, boys, let's get into some Jordan Love talk here, man. Let's get you an update going into we're going into week 7, right? Am I thinking right, guys? It's already God, it's crazy to think about. It's
Yep.
already week 7.
I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it too. So let's look at some of these analytics and a little bit more tape here for Jordan Love. Again, we'll break it down extensively tomorrow on Chalk Talk. But Kevin Cole over on X, shout out to him, said updated quarterback PFF grading and efficiency, which is EPA per play, minimum of 100 dropbacks through week 6. When you look at it here, guys, notice on the left side running vertically, you got EPA per play. On the bottom, running from left to right, you got PFF offensive grade. So you're taking two different metrics, right? Two different measurements of these quarterbacks. You want to be in the upper right. You want to be good at both, essentially. You see Jordan Love right up there towards the top. If you were to look at this chart and say, okay, which quarterbacks are better, I feel comfortable saying that Sam Darnold and Drake May are playing a little bit better football than Jordan Love right now. However, I want to say Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, those guys playing great football as well. To me right now, Baker Mayfield has the stats. But again, that's why I like EPA per play. And I also like PFF offensive grade because it gives you a little bit different view on it, right? Sometimes the stats can be inflated. You know, who knows? Maybe Baker Mayfield, 3 of his touchdown passes were 2-yard screen passes where he didn't do anything but just a little flip, right? Not saying that's the case, but sometimes those numbers can really skew you into thinking someone's playing much better than others. I think Baker is having an MVP caliber year. Don't get me wrong. However, when you look at some of the other metrics here, man, Jordan Love is just playing with his hair on fire. I don't think people understand, Jacob, just how good Jordan Love has been this year. And we're going to talk third down here in a second. But what do you think about these metrics here? EPA per play, offensive grade, Jordan Love right up there at the top. He's definitely top 5 on this chart.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a shame because I think that if you were to stop maybe like 10 random guys on the street, even if they were all considered NFL fans that follow it pretty consistently, you know what I mean? Like watch every game, watch every week. I don't think that you'd find a lot of people that would put Jordan Love in the top 5 of the rankings. I just don't. And again, to the point of whoever made that comment earlier, a lot of that I believe is driven by the national media. The media decides who the kingmakers they're going to make, the stories they want to cover. They're the ones that are going to decide whether or not you see Taylor Swift in the box 37 times during a game. They're going to just shift narratives to a point where it just kind of is almost sickening if you are more than I'd say a casual fan and you really dive into the analytics and the numbers, the stats, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to sit here as a cool, confident type of fan and just think like, okay, if you guys, because, let's look a little bit farther down that. You see guys like Herbert, you see guys like Goff, Mahomes, Stroud, Murray, Williams, all these guys that have been touted up and talked about for a very long time is that they are the top of the top, upper echelon. I saw a bunch of, if you want to call them celebrities or high profile people tweeting out their quarterback rankings. And all of a sudden Mahomes is at the top again because he wins a game, at the end. It's just like, dude, I really don't like the kind of rat race where it seems like we got to make this guy the top, this guy's the best. I feel like that should be done at the end of the year. And obviously that's what's going to get clicks. That's going to get likes. It's going to get views throughout the season. And it's intriguing to watch. And it's fun to watch the race of, especially when it's anytime you're talking about quarterback statistics or anything like that. That's kind of what people gravitate to. But we got to realize that Jordan Love is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, if not a top 3. And the amount of love that he does not get should be, it's kind of criminal.
Tim, what do you think about these numbers here, man?
I mean, to just add on to Jacob's point, we're going into week 7, guys. Let's have this conversation in another 3 or 4 or 5 weeks and see where he's at. I don't want to make sweeping judgments at this point in the season. You guys know I've been a J Love stan since day one, since he was backing up 12. And I think we're going to see that this year, how he finishes this season. He's going to remain at the top of charts like this,
Mm-hmm. Nick McSwain in the chat says people were saying Love is carrying LaFleur and LaFleur is holding Love back. They go hand in hand. They work very well together. Again, this is kind of the whole Belichick, Tom Brady conversation, right? The old Tom Brady, Bill Belichick conversation. You ask both of them, they couldn't have done it without each other. Well, Tom Brady did it without him. Tom Brady literally cherry picked a top 3 offense in the league that was already built and said, Gronk, come with me. And they went down there and won a Super Bowl. That's what happened. Mm-hmm. They pulled an NBA move is what he did. Right. So, the people that Yeah, still don't understand. Go back to the first 3 Super Bowls they won in New England and tell me Tom Brady was the reason they won. It was
Right.
bad. He was a young quarterback, and Belichick's defenses were really carrying the load there. So again, I think they go hand in hand as well. I think that was very well said. Let me show you guys a play here. Again, if you're not getting excited about Jordan Love, that's cool, man. People, hey, look, you got your right to fan how you want to fan. The stuff I'm seeing on tape is unbelievable. Once again, I got to be careful here because I don't want the stream to be taken down and then everybody have to hop back in here on a separate stream. But said Jordan Love with an unbelievably clutch throw here while getting drilled in the face. 4th quarter, 3rd and 8, 2:32 to play. So the game is still on the line here, guys. Right, 3rd and 8. Watch this play. This is unbelievable. Watch him fade back, gonna roll left. Look at this. Watch him take this hit. Wait, bang. Look at the ball, nose down. Matthew Golden, you can't throw that ball any better. I mean, that's him rolling to his left. One more time here, rolling to his left, and watch how he torques his body. That looks just like Aaron Rodgers, dude.
That's crazy.
If we go back again, I want to just get the still frame here when he lets this thing go. Look at that right there. I paused for dramatic effect. Like, that dude is unbelievable. He's playing outside of his mind right now with the placement of these balls, man.
Just like Soder's saying here, moving left to throw, with your right hand is extremely difficult to do. And you don't do it if you're not getting those hips right and your legs underneath you the right way.
You're moving left, throwing across your body, and leading the guy to the left with the hand. Look at where the hand is on him, guys. Like, I don't even know how he got this pass off. And what's crazy, I'm going to, one more time, we'll probably get in trouble. I don't care. Watch how he hesitates and does a hop. He's giving Matthew Golden just another say. And listen, kudos to Matthew Golden as well. Matthew Golden, this was a scramble drill. This is what he was talking about in the post-game presser where he was like, yeah, we worked on scramble drill. When you start to see this stuff come together, this is Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson type stuff, right? Yeah, Coach Lynn says, look at the footwork right before the throw. Watch his feet. Just focus on his feet. Right here, watch him get squared up. Watch this. Bang, let it go. And that wrist snap is unbelievable, man. And again, look at the placement of the ball. I mean, Matthew Golden didn't have to adjust at all. Look at where that ball's thrown. Unbelievable. So
yeah, it's funny that I could see that you were going there, Clayton, and obviously Coach saw the same thing. It's hard enough to roll left and throw with the right hand across your body, but the way he did it was almost like a hybrid crow step from like how Rodgers used to do the crow step. He was doing it laterally while like throwing across his body. And like you said, the torque, he's able to get on that ball. Just basically look at the flick of the wrist, just kind of effortless. It's impressive, man.
Jarrell with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says that throw is beautiful. To me, it's a top 5 throw Jordan Love's made. And I'm talking about it's in the group of the throw to Jaden Reed. Remember the deep shot, the whatever, double, triple coverage. I mean, just put it right in the basket. Remember the throw down the seam. Still to this day, the fastest thrown ball in the next gen era that's been clocked at 61 mile an hour where you hit Tucker Kraft, split the safeties in the end zone. There's a number of throws that already in just 3 years playing quarterback that you see Jordan has made. He's already creating. Listen, I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer. It's going to be a long time before he earns the right to be called a Hall of Famer if he ever does. However, those are the type of throws that makes your highlight reel when you get inducted in the Hall of Fame right there. It is. So thank you for that super chat, Jarrell. Really appreciate it. I love what Joe said here too. And that was called game. That throw right there was, the Cincinnati Bengals were like, crap. It's over now. When they're making throws
there
like
is
that,
your dagger.
Just going to say, Tim, we got to get that drop. That's be a good drop.
Yes, we got it. That's a great. Let me write it down right now, man.
There we go.
Yeah. Dagger drop. Y'all don't let me forget that, all right?
While we're in a little break here, Fishy Things from earlier, he said he was excited to watch the breakdown for tomorrow. He says, Clayton can break down tape like fat kids eat birthday cake. I tell you what.
Tell you what, Clayton does better than break down tape. He eats birthday cake. I'm just telling you right now, man. Cake and ice cream, that's my jam right there. So, all right. Since we're talking about third downs, Clint says, don't forget that. So at NFL_talk_sports tweeted this out. Packers quarterback Jordan Love is one, if not I think you meant one of, if not the best quarterback in the NFL on third down. So these are third down numbers for Jordan Love this year. 14 completions of 15 plus air yards. That's the most in the NFL. That's what you call a big game hunter, right? 89.5 PFF passing grade, second in the NFL on third down. 9.4 yards per attempt on third down. That's second best in the NFL. And a 51.5% conversion percentage. By the way, that leads all quarterbacks in the National Football League right now. So when you peel back layer after layer, we've covered EPA, EPA statistics. We've talked about the PFF offensive grade, his completion percentage. If Ryan was correct, he said he's over 70% now on the year. Guys, you're talking about a guy who, when we drafted him, it was, he's got accuracy issues, just like Josh Allen, right? He's got to work on the accuracy. He is quickly becoming one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. When you get the accuracy down, and then you couple that, Tim, with the fact that he's using his legs to extend plays and make that, like he used his legs to make that throw just now. We're not even talking about him using his legs to pick up first downs, right? Which he's been way more effective. I think they said he's already surpassed his rushing yards from last year already to this point this year, if I understood that stat correctly.
For sure. And we've seen it already. We've seen him using his feet a lot more to extend plays and, pick up yardage. And when you talk about third downs with this team, we've had our share of 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 15s with penalties and things like that. So you see, 14 completions of 15 yards or more. I mean, you got to convert on third down. You will live and die on third down in the NFL. It's a drive killer if you cannot convert. And these aren't 3rd and 3s. These are 3rd and longs, and better than 50%, 51.5% conversion, leading the league. This is how this team is going to get through the gauntlet of this schedule, is being able to convert on third down. And I think it's a testament to what you said, Clayton. Clearly, he's developing as we thought he would develop, right? He's at this point where things are all kind of coming together for him, and it's going to be a hell of a ride down the stretch this year.
No, it is, man. Third downs are huge. Every time I hear a quarterback excelling at third down and versus the blitz, which I don't know how Jordan's against the blitz. Against the blitz, I'm not sure. He may be great, he may be bad, I don't know. But third down statistics and against the blitz statistics, I immediately go back to 2010, and that was the thing that separated Rodgers. His numbers didn't look overall great. I think it was like 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, something like that. Mm-hmm. But boy, oh boy, on third down and when the pressure or when he got blitzed, he cut people up, man, no doubt. We had another question in here that asked, I think it was, let me find it here. There we go. Joe Pack said, wait, Love hit 70%. I'm going to pull up the numbers here for you real quick, Joe. Check this out. It surprised me, too, when I heard Ryan mention that on the Packernet podcast. I knew he was close, but here you see this is the league leaders in completion percentage. Jared Goff, 75. Drake May, 73. Daniel Jones, 71. Dak Prescott, 71. Lamar Jackson, 71. Much fewer attempts, obviously, only 95 attempts. So if you were to go 100 attempts, you'd knock him off this list for the year. CJ Stroud, 70. Sam Darnold, 70. And yes, Jordan Love is officially 70.1% completion percentage this year.
That is officially higher than
65%.
65%. That's what exactly. And here's the important stat, Tim. Some of these guys are dink and dunkers, right? Jordan Love, like we said, he's leading the league or top 3 in the league in yards per attempt. It's what we call a big game hunter. He's looking down the field. You're seeing him throw across his body 30 yards down the field. And some of these guys have a high completion percentage because they're just dinking and dunking. Jared Goff's one of those guys, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, pretty cool, man. I'm sure we could find in here somewhere the air yards. I don't know if it's on this one or not. I'm not going to waste air time trying to find it. But again, Jordan Love playing really, really good on third down. And obviously this is the most accurate we've seen him in his young career. So the Jordan Love haters that used to be in the chat, you notice you don't see them much anymore, do you, boys? You just don't see them. So
getting pretty quiet.
It is. We're going to go one more clip, and I hope we don't get dinged. But I tweeted this out. Jordan Love looking a little like 1996 Brett Favre, buying time on this 29-yard gain. All right, this is going to be Jordan Love, okay, to, I think, Josh Jacobs. Once again, we just showed you him rolling to his left and buying time and then squaring up, throwing a dot with pressure in his face, right, 30 yards down the field. Check out this play. Tell me this don't remind you of Favre back in the day when he'd run around in the pocket. Watch this. Gonna step up, scatter a little juke, whoop, and all of a sudden it turns into a 29-yard game. I think it was 29 or 26. Watch this. This right here is the best thing. Look at that. Telling you, man.
What we were talking about with Josh Jacobs earlier. earlier in the show, him making himself available like that. I mean, that's kind of scramble drill a little bit too, you know?
Mhm. Yep. If you roll it, watch him, Tim. Back to stop, three-step drop. All right, he's already getting pressure on the right side. He's got to step up right here. He's kind of looking to scramble. Notice they got a touch spy going, right? We talk about that all the time. So he wants to go out right, but I guarantee he sees the touch spy. He also sees this defender here. So what's he do? You know what? He's got the huevos. Not a lot of quarterbacks have the huevos to square back up, sit in the pocket. You see that little juke in the pocket?
Yep.
And now right here, it's just a matter of getting your throwing window over this defender now, who I'm sure is a big body defensive lineman. You know you've got a defender breaking on Jacobs here, and watch him just a little flick of the wrist. Whoop, boom, he's out the gate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Special, man. You're
Great
seeing
adjustment
something
by
special.
Jacobs too on that too. Just
Yes.
kind of bail your quarterback. Like he's making a play, you got to make a play. Both of them together combined, and it's an absolute game changer.
Great work by Jordan Morgan there too.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, was that TJ? It looked like TJ Slayton he was working against there
Ooh.
on that
I
play.
think it might have been. Yeah.